in your tanks or your control spec, what it may do is the same amount of damage, the primary damage, but instead of the damage increase, it will give you your power back. So you might restore 200 power over 20 seconds. So you could have the exact same abilities in each spec, but you would play it differently. You'll have different effects that work with them. Now, regenerating power in this game is a little different than most games for healing. It's not just press 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. What you will end up doing is you actually have to be in the fight. So as a healer, you will obviously be healing, but you'll also be fighting the boss or the mob at the same time. You're expected to do that, otherwise you won't be able to regen your power very fast. You'll get a little bit back from a controller in your group, but you won't get too much. So it really keeps the healers engaged, which is nice for them because healers, I can't imagine it's that fun to keep pressing heal 1, 1, 1, 2 to the lowest person. This game adds a little bit of diversity in there, so you changes it up for people that play WoW and Age of Conan and Warhammer, all the other games. Now, the interaction is fully voice acted, so all quests, everything like that, they're fully voice acted. You don't really have to read too much, but sometimes there are glitches where you might see Lex Luthor pop up trying to talk to you and the voices don't come through, which is kind of a disappointment. Small glitches like that you would think would be ironed out by the release of such a big game that costs like $40–50 million to make, but apparently not. I mean, hopefully they'll get fixed in the future. And some things with the movement types, not too great either, like you can be using them in small zones, and if you're at super speed you might start running all over the walls, or if you're running around Metropolis you might get stuck on a balcony. Small things like that, which they're not like things that would stop you from buying the game, they're not game changers, but they are irritations, which if you're thinking about quitting the game, it could lead you in either way, I guess. Now, the targeting system is the worst thing about this game. Because it's designed for the PS3 as well, they pretty much just ported most of the stuff over. In the PC version you press tab to target, but it's more of an auto-selected target, you don't influence it that much. And if you've got a huge amount of mobs near you, or you've got some specific item that you want to target to destroy, it gets really hard and you have to keep pressing tab and hope it ends up on it, because you have no way of directly controlling the targeting other than pressing the tab key, or whatever it is for the PS3. And you can tell that a lot of that is derived from the fact that this is on the consoles, and they really couldn't change too much for the PC versions. Now, the questing system itself is okay. Kind of behind the curve. I mean, the questing system is cool in the way that for a lot of quests you'll be doing them, and after you complete them you can just hand them in straight there and then. You don't have to run to anyone to hand it in. You can just be doing a quest, kill 20 gorillas, you kill the 20 gorillas, you open your quest log, you finish it, and then they'll give you the next quest straight away. You don't have to do anything about it. Saves a lot of time. And all of the quests, like I said, they're voice acted, so Wonder Woman will start talking to you, she'll tell you what you have to do, unless there's some glitches involved. Which is neat. I know that's what everyone's excited for about the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic MMO, but DC Universe sort of beat them there. Obviously there's not multiple choices in this game, so it was a lot easier to voice act, but it's still voice acting as such, and it's pretty rare that you'll see the whole game voice acted. If you play WoW, Rift, or anything like that, you don't see too much voice acting in those. You see a little bit, but not too much. Now, I say now, a lot. Guess I got some sort of problem. Yeah, but with the PvP in the game, it's definitely there. So you can do a 4v4, a 5v5, or an 8v8 with your specific character. There are obviously brackets in there and PvP items that you get if you get enough marks. There are also Legends PvP, which is you pick a pre-selected hero, so Harley Quinn, Robin, Huntress, Joker. I think Future Joker is in there as well. And you get to play as them. They're completely balanced, or as such. I haven't tried out all of them, but they seem pretty balanced, and then you don't have to worry about level or gear, anything like that. So there's PvP in the game, and obviously there's PvP servers and PvE servers. Now there isn't role-playing servers for anyone that likes to do that right now. Maybe they'll add it in the future, I don't know. And they have dungeons and raids, which is the main thing for endgame PvE players. So if you've hit 30 in the game, you have 2 raids at the moment, Batcave and something else, which you have the option to do. You have alerts, which are sort of your 1 to 30 dungeons. They're just your basic ones. And you also, once you hit 30, you can do hard alerts, which are, most of them are completely different. You'll have like Smallville, which isn't a normal alert, only a hard alert. You have like Arkham Asylum, So you get completely new dungeons. They're basically your heroic with better loot and badges for your iconic suits, which is basically your tier 1 armor, your tier 2 armor, and such. You also have what's called duos, in which case it's just 2 people in a group. You can partner up, you can go take on a dungeon itself, and at the end you'll get 1 mark, which is the equivalent of 1 heroic boss. So they're pretty cool. They still give you pretty good rewards, but not as great as the hard alerts. And some of the hard alerts are really hard. They're not easy. Other ones are cakewalks, you can go straight through them. But Smallville, probably one of the best ones ever. I mean, it's got a lot of mechanics and it's really hard because you're fighting Doomsday, which is pretty cool. So, in a sense, the dungeon system, it's there right now. I don't know a month in, maybe next month, how that'll look. I mean, I think you could probably have completed them all and have your full tier set pretty fast, unless they add some more raids. But I mean, it's DC, they've got a pretty expansive universe to draw from. What we also have is what's called vaults, and they're just sort of your daily dungeon type things. They're not really any fights in there, but you'll get some free money, some free loot, and you can do them once a day. And they're just kind of a nice sidetrack that you can do.